Started. So today's objective is to use the formula for vertical height to find time. Go ahead and write down this slide. The steps are on the right, and then we're going to do an example on the left. Here we go. All right, so to simplify an expression like this on our calculator, we're going to first of all change the square root into a decimal. Okay, so when we do the square root on our calculator, we round to the tenths place, we get the following. 5 plus or minus over 4 and the square root of 20 becomes 4.5. Okay, so that's step one. Since there's a plus and a minus on the top now, for step 2 we're going to add, but in step 4 you see we're also going to subtract. So I'm going to kind of mix up steps 2 and 4 together here. I'm going to go ahead and split this up the way we did before. One where you do 5 plus 4.5, and one where you do 5 minus 4.5. Okay, so on your calculators, all you have to do is push 5 plus and then 4.5. And you guys are getting 9.5, right? Now the fraction bar means divide, so go ahead and push the division button, and then 4. And once again, we're going to round to the tenths place. It comes out to be 2.375, so we're going to round it to 2.4. There you go. All right, now we're going to do the same thing on the right. The only difference is that we're going to do subtraction. So here we go, 5 minus 4.5. We're getting 0.5 divided by 4, and then if we divide that by 4, we get 0.125, which is 0.1. Let's do another one. This time I'm going to add one little difference. And you're right. Somebody's seen out there, that little 2 is a negative in the front. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I want you guys to be able to know how to make a number negative on your calculator. Some of us do know and some of us don't. So just to practice making a negative number on our calculator, let's go ahead and work through this. So the first thing we're going to do is do the square root of 5. You guys can do that with me and tell me what you get. 2.2? I agree. 2.2. Okay, now we're going to split it up because steps 2 through 5 require us to have two different problems, one where we're adding and one where we're subtracting. All right, so here we go. Now, if you have the white calculator, you got to push the negative first and then the 2. If you have the black calculators, you're going to push 2 and then a negative. All right. So anyway, let's make a negative 2 plus 2.2. And when you do that, negative 2 plus 2.2 should give you 0.2 over 3. And then if we do our division, there you go. So 0.2 divided by 3 is 0.1. 0.1. It was 0.06, but that number bumps the 0 up one more spot. All right, next one. We're going to do negative 2 minus 2.2. And I get negative 4.2 by doing that. And then we divide. Negative 1.4. Okay, so you guys got the gist of the process here with using calculators to solve a quadratic formula? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys try one from beginning to end on your own. So you guys try this problem right here. Negative 9 plus and minus the square root of 13 divided by 2. So, Tanaya, when we take the square root of the 13, what do we get? 3.6. Okay. What do we do at this point, Selena? Yeah, we got to separate the plus minus, right? Okay. And Alex, what did we get when we did negative 9 plus 3.6 divided by 2? Negative 5.4. Are we agreeing with that, guys? Okay. So negative 9 plus 3.6 is negative 5.4. Divided by 2, though, will give us negative 2.7. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Negative 9 minus 3.6. Chantier, what did you get for negative 9 minus 3.6? Negative 12.6. And if we divide that by 2, we should be getting negative 6.3, right? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and show how we're going to use this in these word problems involving vertical height. Go ahead and write down example 2 word problem, please. Okay, guys, now this is the first type of these problems where they haven't given us time with the vertical formula. Now with the distance formula, the d equals st, we found time because there was no square in it, right? But on this one, this is our first time finding time, and we're going to use the quadratic formula in our calculators to find out how long it takes to hit the ground. So here we go. A rocket is launched at 100 feet per second from the ground, meaning the starting height is 0. Now, that's the first for us. Every time we've been doing things, our starting height has been somewhere off the ground, like when we throw a ball, we let go of it 4 feet off the ground. But this time the starting height that's coming off the ground is 0. And we're also looking at how long until it lands on the ground. So the starting height is 0. What's the ending height? 0. So we're plugging in 0 for the starting height and the final height. Okay, so that's a little bit different. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So we're dealing with the vertical formula today. So it's going to be this guy, big H, height is equal to negative 16 time squared plus vertical speed times time plus the starting height. All right, so let's reread our word problem and label these. 100 feet per second, what is that? What letter?
Velocity.
It's our velocity. That's our speed. Feet per second is our velocity, v. All right. From the ground. Now, since it's starting from the ground, that's your starting height. So that's little h equals 0. How long until it hits the ground again? I labeled that one already. Big H equals 0. So let's go ahead and plug these in. Big H is going to be 0. We don't know what t is. What is v? 100. And little h is 0. Okay? Now this is a quadratic formula. This is my A, this is my B, and this is the C. We're going to plug it into that formula, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so the formula we're using, guys, for finding time, so instead of putting x equals negative b, we're going to put t equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's the formula we're going to use to find time when we're working with the vertical formula. All right, so, well, here it was. You don't need to write it again yourselves. I'm going to put it here since I'm on a new slide. But this was our formula. And I told you this was A, this was B, and this was C. So all we need to do is plug it in. Okay? We put negative 16 in for the A. We put 100 in for the B. And we put 0 in for the C. So I'm going to put blanks there. You guys go ahead and write down your blanks. Notice how I put everything up there that was there to begin with. I just left the letters out.